Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dawn Gage at McClendon Elementary. Glad to see everybody. Hope everybody's had a good day so far. Give everybody a couple of more seconds to make sure if anybody else is going to join us, they can hop on. So let's see. Add stuff to my stream over here, and we'll kind of get started. So as I said, I am Dawn Gage. I am at McClendon Elementary. I teach third grade ELR social studies. And today we are going to look at the program Flipgrid. If you've not heard of Flipgrid, it's a super easy site to use that's 100% free. And it allows your students to kind of have a little bit of voice in class. And it kind of also makes it a little bit social. We know a lot of our kids like to do videos. They like to, with social media and everything the way it is. So it kind of gives a safe place where we can allow some of our students to go in and kind of show some of that creativity to their classmates in a safe environment. So our ISTE standards I was looking at, I found a couple empowered learner because this allows students to leverage technology and take an active role in choosing, achieving, and demonstrating competency and learning goals, but also under global collaborator because this program in particular also students are able to use digital tools to connect with other learners from a variety of backgrounds and cultures and engage them in ways that would broaden their understanding. So the thing about Flipgrid is you can have it where it's just connected among the students that you have in your classes, or there is also a component of it that allows you to connect globally with other classrooms and other students across the country and even across the world. And we'll kind of look at that as we go into it just a little bit. So to get into Flipgrid, again, it's a video platform, and students are allowed some voice in the classroom. And when you go in, if you want to you can go in and you can search in Google and just look for Flipgrid and it'll pop you up. But also, this is the link right here in order to get to it. So I'm going to click on there and show you Flipgrid on here and how you get in. So when you first go in here, if you do not already have something, go into sign up on here. Once you go into sign up, you can use your Google email and you can sign up that way. So mine is, I log in with Google. And so I'm just going to go in and log in here using my Google login. And once you first get in, the very first thing that you're going to want to do is you want to create a grid. So grids, that is the home for your class. You can set up as many grids as you want. There's not a limit. But within a grid, you can post unlimited discussion prompts that they call topics. So when you set up your grid, you'll choose how students will access by selecting a community type. So for instance, I've got two grids here already. One of mine is reading and another one is for social studies. For my classes. But if you go in and just click add a new grid, you go in and you type a name for it and you decide what grid type you're going to have. So for instance, if your students are using a Microsoft or Google school email, which our students use Google, they can just go in and use their school email to sign in just like I did, and it will take them in and be able to get into Flipgrid easily. There are other options down here for students to use. And of course, this is also, they make it where people can connect and do trainings with adults and do other things like that and connect with others. And then of course you create your Flip code and then you share that. So once your grid is created, I'll go in and show you. When you click on a grid, the grid details will show you where you share it. It will allow you to go in and edit at any time. There are different actions you can do. One of the things you can do is add a co-pilot. So if you are team teaching with another teacher, if you are, if you decided to maybe collaborate with a teacher of another subject, you could add them as a co-pilot and both of you would be able to, in this grid, put topics out for students to respond to. You can duplicate it. You can add notifications on your notifications. Depending on how you have it set, it will, every time a student creates a video, it will send you an email to let you know if that is the setting that you choose. So if you go in for notifications, you can decide that every time a new video is posted, you get an email, or you can decide that you get a daily notification, a weekly notification, or you never get one. And then, of course, as you go in, you can export data. Microsoft Teams is something, I guess, that's new, and they've added integration with that, or you can just delete the grid altogether. There is a flip code that you can give to students to get in. And once you got your grid, then you then come up with your topics. So topics are things, for instance, if you go in and just add a new topic, you have to have a title. And so, for instance, if I want to make something on inference, you decide the recording time. So on the recording time, students can make, you can decide whether the student's video can be 15 seconds or 5 minutes long, depending on what the assignment is and how much you want them to do. If you just want them to give a quick something like an exit ticket, then you can give them 15 seconds. If you want it to be longer, then you can come down here and decide. The students don't have to use that entire time. It just, that way it won't cut them off if they're still trying to talk. So about a minute or a minute and 30 seconds is usually a good time. You can go in and type in a prompt telling what you want them to do. So, for instance, if I want them to watch a video, and I can give detailed instructions for the students. I can also add a focus, which is optional, but it's a type of media resource. So there's lots of different things you can add on here. So one of them I was thinking about, for instance, you can go in and record a video where you are talking to them and then post it on there. You can upload a video from YouTube or from Vimeo or from your computer. You can put an image in. You can put a link of some type. And then all these people, all these ones down here are partners. Kahoot, you can actually put a Kahoot on there for them to go to. Wakelet, Nearpod, Newsela, Adobe Spark. So there's lots of things and lots of ways that you can share with students. So like if I wanted to put a YouTube video, I can go in and add the URL, which I have one from YouTube right here, that I was going to copy, and I will go in and put it in here. And if I say next, then it will go in and add this video as a focus. And so then when I say create my topic, it will give me an option to go in, and now I can share it to my Google Classroom. So all I have to do is tap the little classroom icon, and then I can choose my classes. Now, it will just let me do one class at a time, make an assignment, an announcement, create material, whatever. And then I can go in and I can assign it to my classroom. I can also just copy the link right here. There's also an option for sharing a QR code. So you could make this QR code, print it out, put it up, and the kids can just use their Chromebooks or whatever in order to scan it. But to me, being able to use Google Classroom and put it out there and share it to my students were able to go straight in and go right to the topic that I wanted them to do. And then once I go in and look at it, I can click and the kids can watch the video from right here in the screen. And so when they go in, it immediately lets them go in and watch the video here. And then here are my instructions. Now, if I have really detailed, long instructions, it uses what's called Immersive Reader. When I tap on this, students that need the accommodation of having things read to them, it will go in.
Inference. Watch the video about the birds and infer what happened.
And it will read my instructions to them. And so if you have very lengthy instructions, then that's there to let them know what they need to do. Right? And then down here, record a response is where students will record what they are going to say. Right? So that would be, again, I can go in and hit any of these actions over here. There are lots of different things that can be done on here. I can add topic guests to it as well. Edit my topic if there's something on there that I didn't like. Again, duplicate it, move it, hide it. When I do set my topic, one of the other things, there are some extra things that can be done with it. So if I come down here a little bit farther, you can add a tip to help kids with answering it, because some kids sometimes might have trouble figuring out what you want them to do. You can add attachments. You can, as far as your status, now it depends on your students. With my students, even though they're third graders, I like to be able to moderate what they recorded before I make it visible to everyone. So usually I have that turned on. And when that is the case, once a student makes a video, it will let me know, and then I can go and watch the video first, and then I have to approve it to put it out on the grid for other students to watch. So again, depending on the students that you have and how well that you might feel like you might be able to trust them, I would advise using the moderation so that you can kind of watch and watch the video first and make sure that there's no inappropriate language or that sort of stuff before you post it out there for everyone else. Here is where I can either make my topic active, which means all the students who go to the grid can see it now. I can freeze it, which means no one can go in. It's a view only, and no one can go in and add to the topic. Or I can make it hidden for right now so that nobody sees it. All right. And so, of course, student to student replies. So instead of students being able to type a response to other students, it allows them to create their own video to respond to others. So when I'm doing this, it allows students to create the video to respond to another student's video. Again, know your students, because that one does not allow moderation. So when someone sends it on someone else's video, then they're going to immediately see it. So know your students and know, who you can trust to do that. Again, with my students, I had it turned off, but this is again where you get into that collaboration piece, where you allow students to be able to respond and start a discourse and a conversation kind of about what they were talking about and their opinions. Down here, you have launch and freeze dates. You can set it for the launch date. When is it going to start? And a date then when the topic will freeze and nobody can add to it anymore. Video features. Now, there are several different features that you can have the students do. There are filters, stickers, drawings, text, and other things that they can add to their videos and selfies on here. You can choose to let them add these things to selfies and videos, selfies only, videos only, or you can choose none. For my students on their first foray, I put none because I knew that as third graders, that would become a distraction, and they would probably spend most of their time playing with it. Video titles, this is so students can add a title or hashtags to their video. A view count so that they can see how many people have seen their video. Sticky notes would allow students to add sticky notes while they're recording. So if there's something they wanted to add to the screen, it actually allows them to type on a sticky note and put it on the screen while they're recording. And then video editing would allow the students to be able to edit, rearrange video clips, that sort of thing. And again, depending on the age of your students and how advanced they are with what they're doing, you can toggle that on or off. An attachment link allows students to also add an external link to their video, something from Google Docs. Again, older students, that will probably be a good idea, or better if you're using this for elementary students, that's probably not something that you want to add. And then likes allows other students to like each other's videos. And so the students can then see who has liked their video. The feedback section down here is for the teacher. So when you watch their videos, it allows you to give feedback to students on how they do. The basic feedback just comes up with ideas and performance. Custom feedback is for you to be able to go in and add any criteria that you would like to. If you go in and you edit any of these, you have to give a description, and then you can choose a minimum score of what they can get, and you can choose a maximum score. 10 is as high as it goes. But you can add as much criteria for whatever you're looking for as you would like. When you hit update topic, then that will update all your settings for what students can do. Now, so when you go back to your grids, my students did one. We did a social studies one. We did public service announcements about a month or so ago. And my students kind of made their own little mini. They had to research some different topics that they could do public service announcement on. And then they had to go in and actually create their videos. They did an awesome job this time. And so I was very impressed with that. If you'll notice, they put a time of hours of engagement, how long students spent on Flipgrid. 18 hours, that's a lot of engagement. We've had over 1,000 views, and that's just in my 2 classes between myself and my students. And we have 38 videos out there. So a lot of kids could not wait to be able to go and see their classmates' videos and see what they did and how they did. From here, once you've made something, again, I can go in and edit things, do whatever I need to, move the topic, hide it, duplicate it, or whatever. Right now, from here, from active, I can make active frozen, which I'm going to make it frozen so that nobody else tries to add to it. Or I can make it hidden so nobody can see it anymore. So this is the My Grid section. Again, it tells you the total number of engagement. It also tells you like how long it takes. That's how long it takes to fly from Qatar to New Zealand. So they just throw out little things like that on there. Mixtapes and these things across here. One of the things I thought was great is that 2 of these topics down here I did not create. So at the top up here, you'll see Disco Library. So the Disco Library is a place where you can go to find other topics that other teachers have created. You can also take one that you've created and post it out here as well for other people to use. So there's lots of things. This is a cause and effect one. When you click on it, it will show you everything that's on there, what it would do. You can click here and add it to your favorites. It tells you what you're supposed to do, what subject it is. You can go in and select a grid, and all you have to do is click on that, tell it to add, and then it will add it to, and then you can go and customize anything on here that you want to customize for it before you update it and you post it to your grid. And so now it's become part of my reading grid where students can go in and do cause and effect. So there's tons of things in the Disco Library. There are also community partners that they have. The Met, Epic, which is anybody who's used that, Books for Kids. I have an account that my students read in the classroom on Digital Library. And so books can be posted from there. So people have posted topics from that. But also code. There are even some that people have made with vocabulary. And they've actually posted the vocabulary lessons. You can choose your audience. So you can choose grade levels. You can then choose subjects that you're looking for. And you can even search by topics. So like here on ELA, I have settings, I have pronoun, I have text structure. So I can add any of these in there, and someone has created a Flipgrid lesson to go with it. They have posted the vocabulary video there so that you don't have to go to vocabulary, watch it, and then come back. And so it's just a lot of convenience for that. And of course, you can go in and share a playlist or anything that you made, but there's lots of different things here and lots of different options that you can take when you're doing this. Grid Pals is for teachers to go out and find other educators and classrooms around the world. So right now I've got mine hidden, but if you wanted to make yours active, you would go in and give a little bio, tell what ages and what subjects you teach, put your location because they have to know where you are. Okay. And then you can go in there and put yourself out there on the map. So if you wanted to search particular grades, so I can search for elementaries. I can search for just regular general elementary education teachers, or I can do specifically English language arts. And then I can come down here and it will give me states, countries, around the places around the country and places around the world where I could connect with some of these possible classrooms and these teachers. And possibly be able to share grids where kids could truly collaborate with someone else in another part of the world or another part of the country, and kind of become pals. So like if I just wanted to look for Texas schools, I can come over here and type in Texas, and they found 38 different groups, from the Dallas area, Houston, Conroe, Wichita Falls. There's just El Paso. So there's so many things just to connect across Texas on here. And of course, they'll also show them on the map. You can kind of scan that out just a little bit, and it'll give you little plus signs for where all those classrooms are. So I thought that was really neat. So if you want to go out there and kind of connect with another school somewhere and get to know another group, you can do that. Mixtapes are for like the best of the best. So I'm aging myself a little bit here, but I used to sit there and take songs I liked off the radio and record it on a cassette tape. So I have my own little mixtape to play in the car. So this is kind of your Flipgrid mixtape. You can go and take, add videos that some of your students have done. You can do it directly from your grid, and you can add it to a mixtape. And that way you've got a collection of videos, of a custom playlist of some of the best, kind of a greatest hits. And lastly, I'm going to show you a little bit about Shorts over here. Shorts is for teachers. So Shorts allows you to use the camera on Flipgrid, and you can easily make your own quick videos to share with anyone, anywhere. So you would just have to hit record a short. It pulls up with the camera, just like this. And then this is where you have your stickers, your filters, your text, and those things that can be added. It even gives you a board on here where you can like do a whiteboard, a blackboard, nothing. And so you would just click the camera. It will give you a countdown. You start your video. This is where they can add sticky notes. So I can actually go in there and type. And I can move that anywhere I want onto the screen. Okay. And then I can go in here and I can upload it, and I can send it wherever I want. So Shorts is kind of just something that would allow you don't just have to post it onto your Flipgrid. With this one, you can go in and you can make videos that you can post just about anywhere. So basically, Flipgrid has a lot to offer. On here, they give you achievements. It's kind of like a little contest on here for how many videos you posted, how many hours of engagement you got, and they give you badges. So you can get little badges in here based on how much you've engaged your students. It tells you all the different achievements you can get for the community, for a community builder, grid creation. The more grids you create, then the higher you go. The more videos you have out there, the more you can get. And then, of course, with your dashboard, it just tells you how much engagement and everything and how much you've done this week. And then, of course, any videos that have been made, recent videos are down there at the bottom. If, there are things that you still want to know, they have, nice help things over here. Integrations is something else. So Help Center is here. And then they also have integrations. Canvas seems to be the only thing they've got if you've got a Canvas classroom. So that seems to be the only thing. But as they add them, they will put them right here for you to be able to use. Of course, your profile. You build your community from here. Help Center should have any other videos and information that you might want to know. There's a part just for educators, for students and parents. So any questions that you might have or other things, you can look on here and you can get to. One of the things that they have on here too is there is a mobile app that they have that used to just be called Flipgrid. It's now Flipgrid AR. With Flipgrid AR, students, basically someone who is walking down the hall, if the students say, for instance, create a project and they made some kind of poster about something or about a famous figure, they hang it up in the hallway. You can, and then the kids went in and made a Flipgrid of that. Then each Flipgrid video they make comes with a QR code that can be downloaded. And then you can take that QR code, attach it to their poster, and then as people are walking down the hallway or whatever, they can pull up the app, they can click it on there, and of course, then the video pops off of the poster, just like AR, augmented reality, and then it will show the video of the student explaining the poster and what they did their research on. So it's got some really cool things to go along with it. My kids love this program. They love to have the opportunity to get in there and make a video on their Chromebooks. You kind of just have to make sure you got a place where they're going to have a quiet place to go sit because they can't have a lot of background noise. So you just kind of got to make sure that you find a place for them to be able to go and make their video. But give it a try if you haven't used it before. Little kids can use it as well as the big kids. I know the big kids will probably enjoy it. And again, the older students would definitely enjoy being able to add the stickers and everything else. One of these days, I'll get brave enough to let my students do the same. So give it a try and see how you like it. And, if you have any questions about it or anything, just let me know. And I'm right here waiting. And so just any questions you have, again, I'm at McClendon Elementary, and just give me a call. I hope you and your students enjoy this. And once I kind of get my own grid up there and make myself available, connect with me. So I hope y'all enjoyed, if there's not any other questions or anything. So that's all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and have a good evening.